So as I see dignity, the connection between the self and the other is really the foundation in this whole process of understanding dignity for me. And what I mean by seeing the connection between self and other is to really know and to recognize that when I affirm your dignity, I'm affirming mine. And when I negate your dignity, I'm negating mine. And so it becomes almost, it's a choice, but also necessary that to affirm my dignity, I affirm yours. And so what would that look like in terms of action? And for me, it worked out in ways where I was engaging with the other side about the questions of our shared history of conflict, but also working together with the other side to allow groups and people from both our sides to have a new experience about that history of conflict. And one of our experience was with the kids, the children from India and Pakistan. We would bring them together in a camp in Maine. For 6 weeks they would live together, and we would engage with them. We would witness their interactions together about their history, the politics, about the conflict, about that event of partition. Now this was the 4th generation we are talking about, but their stories were the same like ours. Just the way when I started engaging with this colleague and friend of mine, these children were doing the same. They were engaging for the first time with the other side, and they brought all those stories about how their side had been violated, and the need for recognition and about that whole event, but also then listening to the other side, how their side had violated the other. And so I thought, for me, looking back, it feels like we created that space and a platform for these young people to allow them to have the other side enter their consciousness in a new way. So they were really accepting the other side's narrative. They may not agree with it, but they were listening to it, and they were navigating between what they knew and what they were listening to. And so trying to hold those two truths at the same time, trying to find what is the truth, which was witnessing that whole experience was allowing me to see how wonderful this moment can be and how fulfilling it can be for people who are allowed the opportunity to engage with each other. So I think when I look at dignity, it becomes a foundation in a way to really open the way of possibility. So if dignity is the starting point, it is the common denominator, then it becomes easy to look at conflict as a connection, as this sort of very profound connection with the other side, which is opening up possibilities, which is about pushing the limit of my creativity. How can I connect to the other side? How can I reach to the other side? And so it becomes a very active act to seek dignity. So it's not about sort of a noun, but more sort of an engaged action with oneself internally and simultaneously with the other side. So that's been a wonderful opportunity to witness that across generations in moments of conflict.